Breakfast and brilliant ideas, coffee and conversation, we're serving up that and much more at IBJ Media's events. Join us at an upcoming event and kickstart your day with fresh ideas and new connections. Check out our event lineup and register now at ibj.com/RSVP. Do you want to mix moments of inspiration with time to network? IBJ Media Events has you covered. From industry deep dives to awards celebrations honoring Indiana's top leaders, see what's coming up and reserve your seat now at ibj.com/register.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Fort Wayne-based Parkview Health announced plans today to build a $150 million 30-bed hospital and medical office building in Lebanon and create about 200 jobs. Chief Growth Markets Officer John Bowen says the health system sees a growth opportunity in fast-growing Boone County.
When we looked at that community, felt like there was a need, and there's going to be an evolving need in the coming years. And we felt like a hospital the size of what we have planned for today meets the needs of what's in that community, but also serves the future. And it does align with the strategies that we have as we move up I-65 all the way to West Lafayette.
Work on the 108,000 square foot hospital and 30,000 square foot medical office building is expected to begin next year, with the hospital opening in summer 2028. The Evansville City Council on Monday approved a wheel tax designed to bring in more money for road improvement projects. The approved proposal comes in at $5 less than what was originally proposed. That means the owner of a passenger vehicle would pay $20 a year beginning in January. A motorcycle owner would pay $10 per year, and the owner of a heavy truck would pay $30 per year. When it was first proposed, the city said the tax is estimated to raise about $2.7 million annually. Huntington University is launching 2 dual licensure programs to help meet the needs of educators in early learning, literacy development, and support for students with disabilities. An early childhood education program prepares teachers to work with children from birth through age 8. The second program prepares teachers to work with students with significant disabilities and learning challenges. The final day for enrollment is Friday. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media podcast network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
Community leaders in Perry County have been busy this year supporting quality of life projects to entertain current residents and attract new neighbors. Among them is the new Tell City Sports Complex, consisting of 4 new baseball and softball fields, which was dedicated at Hagedorn Park in June. Tell City Parks and Recreation Director Stephen Parker says the more than $3 million facility has attracted tournament directors and pumped money into the local economy.
At one tournament, I know I got a head count from the director that there was 1,200 people at one time in our facility. So whenever they leave or stay in our hotels, they fill up our restaurants, they fill up our shopping centers. The economy is booming. The restaurants said they can't keep up, that we have to let them know in advance when we do book tournaments because they need to staff more, order more food. So we try to keep them up to date.
The complex has hosted several tournaments since opening this year, compared to hosting just a few tournaments over the past decade. Parker says a future phase of the project will include adding more fields, a playground, shelters, and shade structures. Proposed changes to Fort Wayne's downtown dining district and riverfront liquor license requirements will be presented to the city's Common Council today. Among the changes proposed by the city's Community Development Department are lowering a business's annual ratio of non-liquor sales to total sales to at least 25%, as well as lowering the number of days a business operating in the district must be open to a minimum of 210. The resolution also calls for an expansion of the downtown dining district. The council is expected to vote on the resolution next month. St. Louis-based developer Subtext continues to see opportunities around Purdue University for student housing with the opening this month of its new West Lafayette complex, The Ever. The 6-story building opened just in time for fall classes and has 449 beds across 143 units. Subtext Executive Vice President of Development Mitchell Corte says the company looks for unmet demand when deciding where to start new projects.
A lot of it just comes down to simple fundamentals. I mean, the university was continuing to grow, and there was a little bit of new supply coming on, but there really wasn't that much, and definitely not enough to meet the oncoming demand. And we just felt like, really based on the enrollment at the university, and then the existing supply and any additional pipeline projects that were coming online, we still felt like there was a large sort of unmet or uncaptured demand.
The Ever sits on Wood Street, directly across the road from Subtext's other apartment complex, The Verve. PNC Bank executive Jason Eckerly is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
What happens when a basketball superstar changes the course of an entire city? I'm Mickey Shuey, and in Beyond Clarkonomics, we tell the story of how Caitlin Clark's arrival to the Indiana Fever sparked more than just sold-out arenas. It's rewriting Indianapolis's long-term strategy for sports, downtown growth, and women's leadership. Listen at ibjpodcast.com or on your favorite podcast app.
Do you want to know what really drives change in Indiana? You won't find it in sound bites, you'll find it in stories. Stories from CEOs, lawyers, coaches, entrepreneurs, and community advocates. That's the IBJ Media Podcast Network. Insightful, local, impactful. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcast.com.